Hello 12th class students, welcome again. We have completed the fourth chapter determinants in the last video lecture, and now today we will start new chapter continuity and differentiability, and we'll start with the topic continuity. We'll be going through some basic definitions and the graphical approach of continuity in this chapter. So let us begin it right now. So now you are welcome students for this next video lecture. Now we are on chapter number 5. We will start the new topic, that is continuity. This chapter deals about continuity and differentiability and the differentiation methods. And now the first topic will be continuity. Students, this is a chapter related to relations and functions. This is also a chapter of calculus topic. The first topic is continuity. Let us start with the definition. See students, if suppose y is equal to fx is a function, then for some point x equal to a, if the limit of the function at x tends to a is equal to the functional value at fa, then we say that fx is continuous at x equal to a. Means if suppose there is any function, then at some point if we want to find the limit of the function and which becomes equal to the functional value of the function, then we say that the function is continuous at x equal to a. Now this is the continuity of a function at a point. See, continuity is a point property. Means we have to check the continuity of any function at some point only. Now if you want to check the continuity of a function in an interval, then suppose fx is a when do we say that fx is continuous in an interval? Suppose y is equal to fx is a function defined in an interval x belongs to a to b, then fx is continuous in the interval a to b if fx is continuous at all points in ab. It means if suppose in this interval a to b, if the function is continuous everywhere, means at all points, then we say that the function is continuous in this interval. Now the question arises that how to check that the function is continuous at all points in this interval, because in any interval there are infinite number of elements, infinite number of points. So definitely we cannot check the continuity of a function at all the infinite points, infinite values in the interval. So instead of checking that the function, whether the function is continuous in the interval or not, we check the discontinuity of the function in this interval. Means we find some point where the function may not be continuous. If we cannot find any point where the function is not continuous, then we say that the function is continuous everywhere. Otherwise, if we can find any point where the function is not continuous, then we say that the function is not continuous in the given interval. Now how to find whether the function is not continuous at some point x equal to a in the given interval? Find the limit of the function at x tends to a, and also find the functional value. If suppose the limit and functional value are not equal, then we say that the function is not continuous. If suppose, second thing, how to check whether the function is not continuous is that suppose if you find the limit of the function, if it does not exist, then it means the function is not continuous. Because if the limit does not exist, then although fa exists, then fa and this limit cannot be equal. So this is the second thing we can apply here. If the limit also does not exist, then also the function is not continuous. And now let us check when does the limit does not exist. The limit does not exist. The first thing is that when left hand limit and right hand limit, they both exist but they are not equal, then we say that the limit does not exist. Second thing, when left hand limit only does not exist. If suppose RHL, that is right hand limit, exists but left hand limit does not exist, then also the function is not continuous. Similarly, if suppose RHL does not exist but LHL exists, then also the function is not continuous, because if RHL does not exist, then we can't say that limit exists. That means limit does not exist, and hence the function is not continuous. So these are the ways in which the function, given function, cannot become continuous in several ways. If any of these things follow, we say that the function is not continuous at certain point x equal to a. And if this certain point x equal to a exists in some interval, then we say that the function is not continuous in that particular interval. Now moving ahead, now let us come on to geometrical meaning of continuity. See here, what is the geometrical meaning of continuity? What does it mean? If we say that a function is continuous in an interval AB, it actually means that if suppose this is the graph of any function y is equal to fx, students, here you can see that this function is a smooth curve. This clearly looks like a smooth curve which does not have any gap or any break in the function in certain interval. So it is clear that this function is continuous function. Now consider this kind of function. Suppose this is any function which has a gap in its functional values at some point x equal to c. See here, in some interval a to b, suppose there is any point x equal to c, then if for all the values of x less than c the function has this nature, it increases in this way or it varies in this way, and then for all the values of x greater than c the function varies in this way. So there is a difference of values, means there is a gap. So in this one we can easily conclude that, we can easily examine that this function is not continuous. Another example of a discontinuous function is this greatest integer function. Students, you know that the graph of the greatest integer function is of this type. Here you can see that we know that for the greatest integer function that the value of fx is always 0 for x lying between 0 to 1, is always 1 for x lying between 1 to 2, is always 2 for x lying between 2 to 3. So there are gaps in the values of the function. You can see here, means for all x just less than 1, this was the graph the function was following in case of greatest integer function. But for the values of x just greater than 1, this is now the graph the function is following. So there is a gap in the value, so it means this function is not continuous. Another example is this one. This is signum function. Signum function, you know that for the signum function also the graph extends in this way, that the value of the function is always 1 for all x greater than 0, the value of the function is -1 for all x less than 0, and it is 0 for exactly 0. You can see that there is a break of values at x equal to 0. So here earlier means for x less than 0 the function was varying in this way, this was the graph. But as soon as the function reached 0, x reached 0, function became 0, and as soon as the value of x just became greater than 0, then the function follows this path, follows this nature. So this means that this is also a discontinuous function. This was a general graph for you to understand what is meant by discontinuous function. This is example of signum function. This is example of greatest integer function. See students, I have encircled, I have made a loop only to show that there is a break in this function, gap in this function. The greatest integer function or signum function, they do not contain this kind of loop, this kind of encircled portion. Understood? So this is only to show you that there is a break in the function. Now about some continuous functions, you should remember these things. This is that almost all the functions are continuous. All the function, if I talk about all the function, this is only for single domain function. Single domain function means the function has a single nature of variation, in which include all the polynomial function, means all polynomial functions are always continuous. Similarly, all trigonometric functions are always continuous in their domain. Just keep this in mind. In their domain means we are not talking about all the real numbers. In their domain, we'll discuss about the continuity of the function afterwards when the exercise starts. Similarly, all exponential functions of the form e raised to x, a raised to x, and all the logarithmic function of the form log x to the base e, log x to the base 10, these are all always continuous functions. Now, so where does discontinuity exist? So the discontinuity exists for piecewise functions, means functions of divided domain. They may not be continuous at certain points, certain values of x, like this one, as we had just discussed greatest integer function only. See, this is a greatest integer function f defined from R to R. We know that the domain of the greatest integer function is R only, that is the set of real numbers. Its codomain is also R, and the function is written in this way. We make a bracket and in which x is written. So now just look here, students, how to apply this function. Actually, this looks like a single domain function. It has a domain R, but it is not a single domain function. Its domain is divided into different values. See, just look here. We know very well that the value of this greatest integer function is 0 for x lying between 0 to 1. It is 1 for x lying between 1 to 2 and 2 lying between 2 to 3. See, we had just discussed about the graph of the greatest integer function. This is its algebraic form, and so on. And so on means this does not end here. This function does not end here. Now, so clearly this is discontinuous function, because this is a function of divided domain, and for different values of x, for all the different integers, this function is discontinuous. You can see that for x lying between 0 to 1, means for just less than 1 the functional value is 0, and for x just greater than or equal to 1 it is 1. So there is a gap in the values of the function, so it is discontinuous. So now let's move on to next topic, that is algebra of continuous functions. See here, if fx and gx are continuous functions at x equal to a, then always remember this, that fx plus gx is also continuous function at x equal to a. Fx minus gx, even fx into gx, fx upon gx, but for that gx should not be equal to 0 for some value of x. F of gx and g of fx, means these are the compositions of functions, and even fx raised to gx and gx raised to fx, these are also continuous functions at x equal to a. Means for these to follow, the functions fx and gx must be continuous at some point x equal to a. You must remember that. So now this was all about the continuity of the function. Students, you can examine the continuity of a function very easily by graphs, but you know very well obviously the graphs of all the functions will not be given to you. Second thing, if suppose functions are given, then also it is not very easy to draw the graph of all the functions. The functions may be of very different type, very complicated functions there can be. So it is not always very easy to draw the graph of the functions. So we have to follow every time the algebraic method of checking the continuity of the function. That is this one. Algebraic method means this one, this definition, this one. Limit of fx x tends to a is equal to fa. So now moving on to here, let's discuss one of the examples. See, this is exercise 5.1. The question 1 contains fx is equal to 5x minus 3, and what is asked, you have to check the continuity of this function at the points 0, minus 3 and 5. So you know students that for every polynomial limit extends to a, fx is equal to fa. Now you can see that this is a polynomial only, this is a linear polynomial function. So if we have to find the limit of this function at this value x equal to 0, means we are first trying to check the continuity at x equal to 0 only. So for the limit at x tends to 0, simply since this is polynomial, in case of polynomial you know that we directly put this value, we directly apply this limit. So on applying this limit, this will become 5 into 0, minus 3 means minus 3. And if we find the functional value, means substituting x equal to 0, then also this gives you minus 3. That means this limit of fx is equal to, limit of fx at x tends to 0 is equal to f0. So that means this function is continuous at x equal to 0. Suppose that if we have to check the continuity now at x equal to 3, for the continuity at x equal to 3, the function is same, fx is 5x minus 3. So for finding the limit, you know that if we want to find the limit at x tends to 3 for this function, simply since this is polynomial, so apply the limit directly. This will become 5, this is minus 3, this is minus 3. So if you apply directly this limit, this will become 5 into minus 3, minus 15, minus 3 is minus 18. And if we want to find the functional value f of minus 3, then also we will substitute this value directly here. So this is also minus 18. Means in this case also the limit of this function fx at x tends to minus 3 is the same as its functional value. So we can say that this implies fx is continuous at x equal to minus 3 also. And similarly, as we have done for 0 and minus 3, similarly you can check the continuity of this function for x equal to 5 also. So now I would like to end this session right here. We have gone through the introduction and some properties and algebra of the continuous functions, and we have done one question also. Students, you can start solving the first exercise. The questions in the beginning are very easy. They that contains some very easy questions, very simple questions, and you can go through them. And I will bring you some more questions and some different topics in the next video lecture. So till now it's done. So I would like to thank you very much.